Good morning, students. Till now, we had in the fourth unit discussing about the market, different types of market competition, and today we'll be discussing about monopolistic and oligopolistic market. Now, one thing we are making you assure that whatever that has been discussed in the class is basically all from the study material. So in a way, we are strictly following the study material, because mostly that the questions that has been coming in your question paper is from the study material only. You have the liberty, these students who are appearing for January 26 examination have a liberty that they had 2-3 questions at their hand, 2-3 questions at their hand, which is been asked in the previous examinations. Because initially, before September 24, the questions that has been asked at the foundation level, the question paper is not been given to the students. Now, right now, that option has been given that the student can carry the question paper also. So, getting the question, having the question paper helps the student in analyzing that what type of question is being asked in the examination. Although in the classes that we are conducting, mostly we used to discuss and we used to thrust upon those areas where there is a probability that various types of questions can be framed, although nobody is sure that from what will be the question that has been coming in the examination. But one thing that is very clear, that at least seeing the past trends, that past trends of the questions that has been appearing in the question paper, one can see that the probability of these types of questions that is to be coming in the examination is very high. I think initially we are having many students attending these classes, and we also right now also encourage students to join these classes in as many numbers as they can, because ultimately it is for the benefit of the student that we are conducting these classes. The faculties, myself, and all the support staff which has been helping in conducting these classes are doing for the benefit of the student. So ask your friends, ask others also who are appearing for the examinations that yes, this is a very nice platform to basically attend these classes and getting the benefit of it, because this is free of cost classes and we are not charging anything. This is on a pro bono basis. The ICAI Board of Studies Academics is taking interest in helping the students for preparation of the examinations. Because if you attend these classes, and again, in the very beginning itself, I had been telling the students that when you attend these classes and then after you read the study material, at least 99% of the concepts, 99% of the content that has been written in the your module, study module, is very much clear to you. Plus, at the end of each session, we are 15-20 minutes dedicated to the students for asking their queries. Now, one thing that I just want to tell the students, that focus on what is being taught in the class. Don't deviate. If you because every faculty, everybody who is teaching in the class has prepared his or her lecture that is to be delivered in the class in a very systematic manner. So if you we are discussing today chapter number 4, and you are asking question on chapter number 6 or chapter number 2. Now, definitely many of the things that we want to tell in the class might be missed due to paucity of time. So it is a request that focus on what is being taught in the class when you are attending these classes, because ultimately if you deviate, then definitely what is being taught in the class, you will be missing that. Apart from this, the flow of the classes will also be classes will also be disrupted. So focus on what is being taught in the class. And then as in the previous classes also, we are being telling that mm, after attending the classes, read the study material, and definitely you'll be able to answer the questions. Sometimes the students are in the habit of, before reading the content, start attempting the questions. Now again, there are probability, or your chances of marking the wrong answer is will be very high if you don't read the content and start practicing the questions. Because ultimately the questions that has been coming in the examination is not exactly the same the question that has been given to you in the practice module. It will be different. So your focus should be on developing the concept, reading, revising the content that has been given in the your study module. Because if you don't revise now, definitely everybody has its tendency that if you don't revise the thing, you'll be losing at least 25%, 50% of the content that today you have learned that thing. And if you don't revise in the next 5 days or 10 days, definitely today what you have learned might be not 100% today that is in your mind. That might be 25% that you have retained. So revision is very important. Although from all different perspective, all different probability that the questions that is been asked in the examinations, we are trying to give you the best. And we are also, the students who are attending the classes are also giving the encouraging response. So feedback also we are taking it. We are all the practice questions that is been uploaded. So there also you can upload. But my advice is, before start practicing, uh, first uh, build the concept, make it solid. Then definitely any type of questions, any deviations, minor here and there, you will be able to answer that question. And definitely in objective type of paper, it is very important that bang on you have to mark the right answer only. Because might be there are close choices. Now the elimination habit you can develop only if you mastered the concept. And we are as advised by the students, we are this time we are encouraged, we have increased the number of classes also. So we are going slowly, slowly, so that everybody who is attending the classes must be benefited from what we are delivering in the classes. So I think I had spoken what I had to tell. And now over to you, Assis, for taking these classes, because these units is what is been today and in the previous classes that has been taught in discussed in the class is very important. It carries the highest weightage also in the examination also. Because in the initial first class I had already discussed about the different weightages that has been assigned to different units of the business economics paper. So over to you, Assis, for taking the class forward.
Okay. Thank you, Nikhil sir. And good morning, dear students. How are you all doing? I'm sure you all are doing fantastic. So students, in today's class, we will be practicing MCQs 100%. Along with that, first we will discuss monopolistic competition, oligopoly. And on your request last day, today's class in this chapter, I have made it a target that most of the questions, that is the MCQs from the ICAI module, I will discuss with you. So don't worry, everything will be great. You all will do well. With that positivity, let's begin our class today. right? See, students, when I talk about imperfect competition, one name that comes up in the mind is monopolistic competition. If I were to tell you about monopolistic competition, it is a market with many sellers. You will tell me, but sir, if you are talking about many sellers, then many sellers are there in perfect competition as well. No, in reality, students, perfect competition market does not exist because it is characterized by some features which are not possible. Like products are 100% same. Like products are 100% same and there is perfect knowledge. Students, both of these features are rather impossible to achieve. Products cannot be 100% same, and if they can be, buyers and sellers cannot have perfect knowledge about the market conditions. I don't think so. So therefore, perfect competition doesn't exist in reality. But if I were to talk to you about imperfect competition does exist in reality. Number one is monopolistic competition. It's a market characterized by a large number of sellers. I'll repeat, it's a market characterized by a large number of sellers. But here they are selling close products. Close means the products are close substitutes of one another, but differentiated. But differentiated. Students often ask me, but sir, imperfect competition, that is monopolistic competition, how do we remember? Can you tell us some trick or something? Yes, I can. I can definitely tell you a trick. The trick is simple, students. To remember monopolistic competition, the trick is simple, students. Remember the FMCG market, fast moving consumer goods market, fast moving consumer goods market. For example, soap, biscuits, all these are FMCG products. FMCG means fast moving consumer goods, as I told already. So when you cater to such markets, you naturally understand you are in the world of monopolistic competition. Sir, we found something very odd about your discussion. You said, sir, that it has close substitutes. Close substitutes. It has close substitutes. What do you exactly imply when you say close substitutes? क्या मतलब है आपका जब आप बोल रहे हैं close substitutes? Students, let's take the example of two soap. Maximum of you would have heard of Dettol. Maximum of you would have heard of Lux. Now see, Lux and Dettol are both ultimately soap only. But then the fragrance that Lux sells, Dettol does not. Dettol doesn't claim to have some fragrance. It is not its USP. But Dettol focuses on the killing of germs, which Lux does not. Which Lux does not do. Sir, आप बोलना क्या चाह रहे हैं? Sir, what are you trying to imply? You just tell us that. Dear students, what I'm trying to imply is that the products are close substitutes of one another, not perfect substitutes of one another. The products are close substitutes of one another, not perfect substitutes of one another. Okay, right, sir. Now everyone, now everyone, we talk about features of monopolistic competition. Now we talk about features of monopolistic competition. ठीक है, monopolistic competition. Students, in the chat box, please answer me. What is the criteria to identify whether a product is whether a product is monopolistic competition or not? What is the criteria? I told only one criteria today. Please tell me in the chat box. Right, sir. So students, in a monopolistic competition, number one is a large number of sellers. Number one is a large number of sellers. I told you this, and they sell FMCG goods. What goods? FMCG goods. Okay. All right, then. I can see the chat box quite conveniently. And students, please message in the group one, है ना? Because if you all message me individually, I would not be able to see the response of each student. In the group chat that is in the Zoom, you all write your answers, okay? So that I can, reply to everyone. Tech support, is the group chat open so that the student can message? Please allow the group chat so that students can convey their, you know, doubts. Okay. So features of monopolistic competition. It is a market characterized by large number of sellers, right? And you witness product differentiation. You witness product differentiation. Sir, what do you mean by product differentiation? Students, product differentiation means products are slightly different based on their, it could be based on their size, it could be based on their design, it could be based on their color, it could be based on their shape. Anything can be the reason. But products are slightly differentiated. They are close substitutes of one another. They are close substitutes of one another. Brands are heavily advertised, so much advertised. Students, it is called marketing cost. I will repeat, it is called marketing cost, or we call it selling cost. We call it marketing cost, or we call it selling cost. We call it marketing cost, or we call it selling cost. Understood, students? Right, sir. Understood, sir. Understood. So have a look here, है ना? However, students, since all brands are close substitutes of one another, the seller who increases the price of the product will lose some of his customers to competitors, right? So here they cannot charge whatever price. Yes, they have freedom. You have freedom. You have freedom. Everyone, you have freedom. You means the sellers have freedom to decide their price. But if you raise the price unreasonably high, for example, just for example, let's say Dettol sells at rupees 40 per unit, and Lifebuoy sells at, or let's say Lux sells at rupees 30 per unit. That is okay. But if Dettol thinks that, okay, it can now raise it to 50 or 60, naturally it will lose its customers, because India is a price sensitive market. Yes, we value money, we value the product. We want to buy products which are value for money. So if you unnecessarily raise the price, you cannot sell. Of course, now I'll give you another example. This is my recent experience. Students, recently, initially I used to eat bread in the morning, like when I had breakfast from brands like Modern and all. Recently means around the past year, I discovered a brand called Baker's Dozen. Now, a regular bread of Modern or any other brand, you would get around 30 rupees, a big packet of bread. Generally, Baker's Dozen, do you know, rupees 70. So you will tell me then Baker's Dozen will lose its market? No, because Baker's Dozen is differentiating itself by selling its healthy. The 70 rupees I am saying is for the bread which has no palm oil, plus which is made of ragi, not maida, wheat flour. But this bread is made of wheat flour. So yes, if you are justifying the price rise, people will buy if you are correct about your proposition. That is what is interesting about monopolistic competition. Everybody is trying to show that they are different. Because Baker Dozen could not have entered the market with these giant competitors like Modern and all. But thanks to what? Sir, thanks to what? But thanks to the product differentiation of Baker's Dozen, that it tells people that, okay, we will give you the almost same taste, but it will be healthier. Doesn't it become interesting? You would have also product differentiation. I can give you another example. Obviously, there are different chocolates sold in the market. You would have heard of this chocolate. I am 100% sure across India, Kit Kat. But with the recent advertising, of Ranveer Singh, he has brought Super U. Now, I am not saying Super U is healthy, but Super U proposes that it will give you 10-gram protein and very little maida is there. Though both are packed products, so we cannot trust on the health. But for us consumer who is seeing that the taste is not compromised, plus they are gaining some protein, at least they are switching to healthier alternative. Won't they find it better to purchase Super U? This is called product differentiation. Trying to show yourself different, though both are selling the chocolate products, chocolate bars. At the end, both are selling chocolate bars, but the proposition is yet entirely different. That brings in all the magic. That brings in all the magic. Understood, sir. Understood, sir. Now, students, there is a concept of freedom of entry and exit. Now, there is a concept of freedom of entry and exit. Freedom of entry and exit मतलब आपको मार्केट में जब एंटर करना है आप आओ. Whenever you want to exit the market, you go. For example, this brand Super U. अच्छा, brands are not paying me. I am not a huge celebrity. In fact, I am not a celebrity. I am just saying, for example, someone might think that I think the brand is paying sir. That is why sir is taking the name. No, no, it is not that way. I am not that popular. So what I am saying is freedom of entry and exit means that you enter the market, and you exit the market as per your will and wish. Nobody is, there to control you. The Super U brand, they decided that they want to make the entry. Another brand decided to make the entry. Whole truth. Again, they also propose that they are, healthy and protein and all these. Another one or two more are there. I am forgetting the name, so I won't, name them. Freedom of entry and exit. Sir, ये feature तो perfect competition में भी था. Exactly, this feature was already also prevalent in perfect competition market. Great, sir, great. But here, students, I bring you to something new. Non-price competition. See, here the competition is fierce. There are many sellers. Everybody is trying to showcase themselves as better than the other. When you are in such a world where everyone is trying to showcase themselves better than the other, then if you think that okay, हम price कम कर देंगे तो मेरा सामान ज्यादा बिक जाएगा. It could be a strategy in the past days, maybe during the times of industrial revolution, 1850s, 1870s, 1880s. It could be so. ऐसा हो सकता था तब. Abhi, it is not possible, students. If you see, let's talk about two brands, Puma and Nike. If Puma says ki chalo, my shoes are selling at 5,000 and Nike shoes are selling at 5,000, let's do something. Let me sell my shoes at 4,000. That way, I'll be able to sell more than Nike. If brands think that this kind of game will work, I'm sorry, it won't. Because if Puma can reduce its price, Nike can make it 2,000. Ultimately, who loses? The entire shoe industry loses. Because people were seeing the price of these products from the foresight of 5,000. But now their impression is कि ये तो 2,000 के जूते हैं. These shoes are worth 2,000 only. If you in future try to make it 4,000 or 5,000 now, nobody will be interested because people will say, okay, I will buy 2,000 shoes because we know the shoes are of 2,000 each. That's the logic I'm trying to convey. Non-price competition. So non-price competition means only by reducing price you cannot compete anymore. Yes, you can use that means. Now what they do is, you see, Puma signed Virat Kohli. I don't know whether they are still associated or not. I am not updated with that, so I'm sorry for that lack of knowledge. So Puma is associated with Virat Kohli. Nike signed Cristiano Ronaldo because Puma wanted to capture the Indian market. They targeted Virat Kohli, who is the biggest superstar, biggest sports star of the country. But of the planet, if we say, I don't think apart from Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi, any other name crops up. That is what I'm trying to say. That is what I'm trying to say. Non-price competition, associating yourself with celebrity names so that you can propose that you are better than the others. Associating yourself with celebrity names so that you can propose that you are better than the others. That's non-price competition, everyone. That's non-price competition, everyone. If in a monopolistic competition, you talk to me about the diagram, if in a monopolistic competition, you talk to me about the diagram, then the graph here is relatively elastic. The graph here in monopolistic competition is relatively elastic. But sir, why? ऐसा काय को? Why is it, sir? The reason is that now the consumers have option. Consumers can easily switch between the two brands. So a very small price rise might result in a huge fall in demand. A very small price rise might result in a huge fall in demand. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. A very small price rise may result in a huge fall in demand, or a very small price fall might result in a huge rise in demand. Now we understand, sir. Now we understand, sir. So it's a market which is characterized by relatively elastic demand. Relatively elastic demand. It is a market characterized by relatively elastic demand. That is, the curve will be flatter. The curve will be flatter. The curve will be flatter. Sir, what are the conditions for equilibrium of an individual firm? Sir, what are the conditions for equilibrium of an individual firm? That is, MC should be equal to MR and MC cuts MR from below. I will repeat it for you. I explained it in perfect competition. I will explain it to you again. Let's say this is the curve. So MC equals to MR and MC should cut MR from below. So see, here it is. Here it is displayed. You see, this is the MR curve. MR matlab marginal revenue. MR means marginal revenue. Here it is. And MC is cutting MR from below. So equilibrium is achieved at this point. Remember that. Equilibrium is achieved at this point, where MC equals to MR and MC cuts MR from below. If I were the paper setter, then I would definitely target the students at this juncture on this area. I would have definitely targeted the students. That is, MC equals to MR and MC curve cuts MR curve from below. MC equals to MR and MC cuts MR from below. समझे? हाँ सर समझ में आ गया सर. Here it is again. But sir, in short run, nobody's asking you to draw the graph in exam. That is common sense, students. But I were to discuss one more thing with you. Students, I would say in short run, a firm under monopolistic competition. In short run, a firm under monopolistic competition can make S&P supernormal profit, can make NP normal profit, can make losses. So it can be S&P, it can be NP, it can be losses. So we have all the three propositions here: supernormal profits, normal profits, and we have losses. All the three possibilities are there in short run. In short run. But you all know, much like perfect competition, in long run, there is only one possibility. In long run, there is only one possibility, which is what? Normal profits. In long run, there is only one possibility, which is what? Normal profits. Absolutely yes, students. Absolutely yes, students. Sir, we do understand this. Sir, we do understand this. Now, students, moving on, everyone moving on, we will have a brief analysis of the three markets which we have covered so far: perfect competition, monopoly, and monopolistic competition. See how beautiful Material Institute has designed. Wow. And the good thing is that only the students who are attending this BOS classes, they will be able to witness how good the book is. Look, perfect competition, large number of buyers and large number of firms in the industry. In monopoly, single seller. So the firm and the industry are the same. MCQ can be set from here. MCQ can be set from here. Huh? Remember this. And in monopolistic competition. But in monopolistic competition, you have large number of buyers and large number of firms in the industry. Large number of buyers and a large number of firms in the industry. So in both perfect competition and monopolistic competition, there are large number of buyers and large number of firms. But in perfect competition, you have homogeneous products. Homogeneous products means products are exactly the same. जरा सा भी difference नहीं है. Homogeneous products means products are exactly the same. जरा सा भी difference नहीं है. But in monopolistic competition, products are slightly differentiated. Products are slightly differentiated and they are close substitutes, but not perfect substitutes. The products are close substitutes, but not perfect substitutes. When I say close substitutes, students, when I say close substitutes, I mean shoes, Puma and Nike. But when I say homogeneous, I mean 100% same. But in monopoly, there are no close substitutes. I gave the example of CESC, Calcutta Electric Supply Corporation, or Indian Railways. Nobody is the substitute to Indian Railways. Come on. You got to acknowledge that nobody is the substitute to Indian Railways as such. Sir, we do understand this. Now, in perfect competition, students, the market share is rather insignificant. What did I say? In perfect competition, the market share is rather insignificant. Insignificant market share means that they do not occupy much of the market. Insignificant market share. You know why? Because there are many sellers. So each seller hardly matters. They may enter, they may exit, they hardly matter. But in monopoly, mind you, the entire firm is the industry itself. So they have the command over entire market. Even if today railways increase the fare overnight by 20%, none of us can do anything. No one can do anything. Understood, everybody? Right, sir, we have understood this. Right, sir, we have understood this. So insignificant market share, they have command over the whole market. They have command over the whole market, and each firm is small relative to the market. Each firm is small relative to the market. Each firm is small relative to the market means what, sir? When I say each firm is small relative to the market, what do I mean, sir? Students, what I mean is that yes, they are not insignificant, but they are small. Maybe they have 1%, 2%, 3% market share, maybe 10%. But nobody is very large. Nobody is occupying a very large chunk of market. Had it been the case, we would have characterized it as oligopoly market. Okay? Okay. Yes, there will be market leaders here, but each has a very small share. Okay? Here it is imperfect competition. Here there is no competition. Here there is perfect competition. Right. Now the important feature, free entry and exit. Here also free entry and exit. So perfect competition and monopolistic competition, sellers can enter the market to sell. Sellers can exit the market when they don't wish to. So you see, freedom of entry and exit is persistent. But guess what, guys? In monopoly, there is a strong barrier to entry. In monopoly, you witness strong barriers to entry. Repeat after me. In monopoly, you witness strong barriers to entry. Not everyone can enter the market. So there are strong barriers to entry. Right? Now, everyone, in perfect competition, firms are price takers, because who decides the price? Market forces of demand and supply decide the price. But in monopoly, since the firm is the industry, so they are the price maker. But in monopolistic competition, there is some control over price. there is some control over price. In monopolistic competition, students, there is some control over price. So no need to worry about that. Everyone has some control over price. But yes, will a person under monopolistic competition change the price? No, because they're afraid their competitors might act accordingly. Competition भी तो काम करेगा, won't they? That's what I'm trying to say. Now, in this market, price equals to marginal cost. But here price is higher than marginal cost. Price is higher than marginal cost. Ultimately, because here you can change the price in monopoly and monopolistic competition. Here you cannot change the price because of market forces deciding the price. Demand curve, very important. Very important. Here the demand curve is infinitely elastic. You can draw a diagram like this. This is the demand curve. This is the demand curve. Infinite elasticity. But if you talk about monopoly market, the demand curve is highly inelastic. Highly inelastic means, sir, what does highly inelastic means? A very steep curve. You know why it's inelastic? Because nobody has the option to switch. Only one firm is the industry. So there is no option to switch. But if you talk about this point, the curve is more elastic. It is rather flatter. The curve is more elastic. It is rather flatter. Okay, understood, sir. Now we talk about price discrimination. Everyone, when we talk about price discrimination, in perfect competition, no price discrimination exists. When I say no price discrimination, it means in perfect competition, there is same price. In perfect competition, there is same price. Everyone, in perfect competition, there is same price for all the units. 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 Same price for all the units. Market decides the price. But in monopoly, there is price discrimination possible. You know what price discrimination is? We have had a lengthy discussion on it. It was proposed by ACPGO. 3 categories of price discrimination: first degree, second degree, third degree. Do you remember that? So price discrimination means a monopolist for the same product can charge different price from different sellers, from different consumers. For example, Indian Railways, maybe for ladies or maybe for children below 2 or 3 years, they may keep it free. For handicapped people, they may keep half the fees. That's what I'm saying. This is called price discrimination. But whether the monopolistic competitive firm can use this power, whether the monopolistically competitive firm can do this, depends on the extent of monopoly power. Means how much they are respected in the market. How much control do they command in the market? That is what I'm saying. Depends on the extent of monopoly power. How much control you have in the market. So students, if you have significant bit of control in the market, students, if you have significant bit of control in the market, that means you have significant monopoly power. For example, if you talk about the famous brands, you have your Puma, your Nike, and your Adidas. So when you talk about this Puma and Nike and all this stuff, they have significant market power. They have significant market power. Aren't they? Yes, sir, they do. They have significant market power. Sir, we have understood, sir. So depends on the extent of the monopoly power the firm has. How much monopoly power they have. That is very important, students. In the long run, students, no supernormal profits exist. Where? In perfect competition. Same in monopolistic competition, because you see there is freedom of entry and exit. So if in short run, even if you are enjoying supernormal profits, in the long run, new entrants will come and destroy your supernormal profits. And destroy all your supernormal profits. But a monopolist, they don't fear anyone because no freedom of entry and exit exists in this market. So they have extreme power. So they make, they make supernormal profits both in the short run and the long run. They make supernormal profits both in the short run and the long run. They make supernormal profits both in the short run and the long run. So you see, supernormal profits are there both in short and long run. But here, no supernormal profits in the long run. No supernormal profits in the long run. Only normal profits. Here also normal profits. Here supernormal profits. I'm talking about the long run. Each of them are a hub of MCQs. You might be thinking, sir, इतना detailing में क्यों बता रहे हैं? Because this chapter is important, it is lengthy, and it will give you marks. That's why. Sir, इतना detail में बता रहे हैं. No selling costs. What do you mean by selling costs? Institute can give options A, B, C, D. Dear students, selling cost means advertising cost. Full stop. Selling cost means advertising costs. So that is what I said. Here there are no selling costs. Here in this market, there are generally low selling costs only for informing the consumers. There are low selling costs, but for what? There are generally low selling costs only for informing the consumers. There are low selling costs, everyone, only for informing the consumers. But here, due to severe competition, everyone, due to severe competition, selling costs are vital to persuade buyers. Selling costs are vital to persuade buyers. Selling costs are very important to persuade buyers. So I'll repeat, here there are no selling costs. Here there are generally low selling costs. And here due to severe competition, selling costs are very important. So in which market selling costs are incurred? That is advertising. Actually, they are incurred in all three. But in monopoly, it is low because they will sell their products anyhow. Here, perfect competition, there is no selling costs. No selling costs. You know why? Because already everyone has perfect knowledge. Everybody has perfect knowledge. Remember, here there is no need of selling cost because already people have perfect knowledge. Institute can frame a question like this. In perfect competition, why there is no selling costs? In perfect competition, why there is no selling cost? Option A, because of freedom of entry and exit, because market determines the price, because of perfect knowledge, because of horizontal demand curve. Remember your answer. It is because of no selling costs are because of, tell me, because of perfect knowledge. Because the purpose of advertising, dear students, the purpose of advertising is what? Sir, what is the purpose of advertising? Students, the purpose of advertising is, everyone please pay attention, huh? Please pay attention, everyone. The purpose of advertising is, everyone please listen, huh? The purpose of advertising is that more goods can be sold. The purpose of advertising is that more goods can be sold. Purpose of advertising is that more goods can be sold. And information people can get about the product. But in a market where buyers and sellers already have perfect knowledge, what will you do by incurring, advertisement expenditure? You tell me. आप क्या करोगे एडवर्टाइजमेंट एक्सपेंडिचर इनकर करके? क्या लाभ होगा आपको? कुछ नहीं. Nothing. So, students, here there are no selling costs. Here there are low selling costs, and here selling costs are very relevant. Selling costs are vital to persuade buyers. Selling costs are vital to persuade buyers. Here selling costs are vital to persuade buyers. Another important point is, everyone pay attention. Another important point is, everyone please pay attention, huh? That here there is efficient allocation of resources. You know why? Because market decides the allocation. Here, since sellers decide how much they want to sell, so the resource allocation is rather inefficient, not good. Friends, any question from monopolistic competition, please push it to the chat box. I'm waiting. Come on, everyone. I am sure I have done the detailing, but still some questions can be there. So go ahead and ask me. Come on, everyone. In the chat box, huh? For everyone, where there is space for everyone, huh? Message there. The group chat that we call it. No doubt, sir. Sakshi has said. Okay, Sakshi. Yes, Mr. Tulsinath, I can read your chat, dear. Is it clear, everyone? Crystal clear or not? In the chat box, please. I am waiting for every student. In the common group chat, everyone. I am seeing that only. Okay, fantastic. So having done this much, let's go ahead, students. Let's go ahead and see what next. Oligopoly market. Students, that is rather an interesting market. You have studied two markets where there are many sellers. Names are perfect competition and monopolistic competition. You have studied one market where there is single seller, monopoly market. Now you are on to oligopoly market where you have few sellers. Now we are on to oligopoly market, students, which is characterized by existence of few sellers, which is characterized by existence of few sellers. Oligopoly market characterized by existence of few sellers only. Sir, we do understand this, sir. Sir, it's crystal clear to us. So oligopoly is a market which has few sellers. Now, a very important area, the name of a professor, Professor Stigler. Professor Stigler defines oligopoly as that situation in which firm bases its market policy in part on the expected behavior of few close rivals. It means there is interdependence. It means there is interdependence. Everybody is seeing what the others are doing. Sir, can you give us some example of oligopoly before you make it, more detailed? Okay. Okay. Most famous are Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Obviously, Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they have different products, but these are the two companies which primarily rule the world as far as soft drinks is concerned. Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Yes or no? That's it. So here there are few sellers. What did I say? Here there are few sellers and they are large. There are few sellers and they are large. They are huge. The few sellers are huge, extremely powerful. They comprise of significant, they, cover a significant portion of the market. They cover a significant portion of the market. They cover a significant portion of the market. Sir, we do understand this. They cover, what did I say? A significant portion of the market. Okay, sir, understood. And what do they sell? Students, they sell homogeneous or differentiated products. They sell homogeneous or differentiated products. See, there are two extremes. Sir, what are you saying? Homogeneous or differentiated? And I will come to the word of interdependence. See, homogeneous means the products are exactly same. Iron and steel. Jindal Steel is selling steel. Tata Steel is selling steel. So how can the steel composition be different? If the composition is different, it is not steel only. So homogeneous. But there can be differentiated products as well. For example, the composition of Coca-Cola is definitely different from the composition of Pepsi. 100% they are different. The composition of Coca-Cola is 100% different from the composition of Pepsi. That's what I'm trying to convey, dear students. Dear, you have understood it. But sir, what about the Professor Stigler point, interdependence? Students, it means that Pepsi is looking what Coca-Cola is doing, and Coca-Cola has its eyes on the actions of Pepsi. Example, I'll give you an example. You would see if Coca-Cola launches a 2-liter bottle of cold drink, Pepsi is going to do the same. If Pepsi launches a 2-liter bottle, Coca-Cola is going to do the same. Meaning, what do I mean? What do I mean when I say this? Students, what I mean when I say this is that the products are homogeneous or differentiated. The products are homogeneous or differentiated. That is, they are either exactly the same. That is, they are either exactly the same, or they are slightly different, or they are slightly different. Understood. Very important is the discussion on types of oligopoly. This I would, advise you read it here, but refer my notes. I have made it more detailed even than institute. My notes, I have made it more detailed for types of oligopoly. They are so relevant and important that it deserves such detailing. See, in one word, my detailing is in one word. Pure oligopoly means when they sell homogeneous products. Means exactly the same. I told you cement and steel. The composition cannot vary. Firms may be different, but ultimately they are selling cement and steel only. Differentiated product oligopoly, students, they sell differentiated products. That is, the products are slightly different. In pure oligopoly, the products are homogeneous. In differentiated oligopoly, the products are slightly differentiated. They are slightly different. The products are slightly different. In pure, they are exactly the same. Then we have collusive oligopoly. Here firms cooperate, they form a cartel and act like a monopoly. Here firms cooperate, they form a cartel and act like a monopoly. Opaque. Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. It primarily includes your Middle East countries like your Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, and all these. Collusive. They collude so that you cannot bargain with them individually. They collude means they come together. And then you have your non-collusive oligopoly. Non-collusive oligopoly means when the firms compete aggressively. When the firms compete aggressively. Aggressively means very aggressively. They compete very aggressively. Understood, sir. So non-collusive oligopoly is the market, students, when the firms compete very aggressively. Example, telecom sector. Example, telecom sector. Example, telecom sector. The firms collude very aggressively here. Example, I have told you, telecom sector. हाँ, students have asked, sir, aggressively matlab? Aggressively means they spend heavily on advertisement. Huge competition. You see how much Jio and Airtel are competing. The big example is Airtel and Jio in the telecom sector. What a competition. What a tough competition if you pay attention to them. Airtel and Jio. Sir, we have understood this, sir. Sir, we have understood, sir. Now, students, if you were to discuss about the very important, where students get confused is syndicated and organized oligopoly. Honestly, one would get confused if they don't understand its detailing. See, syndicated oligopoly, I had told you last day, I'll repeat it for you. Here, firms appoint a common selling agency. So firms are not selling themselves. They are selling it to the agency and the agency is selling further. And here, organized oligopoly is nothing but a firm forming a cartel. That's it. They are coming together. Syndicated oligopoly. Here, sales are centralized. Means the production units of each firm is different. Only at the time of selling, dear students, they are coming together. Only at the time of selling, dear students, they are coming together. Apart from that, everything is separate. Apart from that, everything is separate. That is what is written here. Only sales are centralized if you witness it. Only sales are centralized. But in organized oligopoly, students, both sales and production are coordinated. Both sales and production are coordinated, meaning sales and production are coordinated, meaning at the time of production also they are producing in a common machine or through a common technique. At the time of selling also they are selling through that common agency. Here production वो लोग अपना अपना करते हैं, selling and production यहाँ पे वो लोग साथ में करते हैं. यहाँ पे only sellings are together. Here both production and selling are together. This is what is relevant, students. Okay, that is what is relevant, students. Let me take you to the material again. Now if you look at this, yeah, you will understand naturally. Pure or perfect oligopoly, you know what is it? When there is homogeneous product being sold. So remember, pure or perfect oligopoly. Sir, there was perfect competition. Now, yes, you have perfect oligopoly. Don't make a mistake here. You have pure or perfect oligopoly. Then you have open and closed oligopoly. Then you have open and closed oligopoly. In open oligopoly market, new firms enter the market and compete with existing firms. In an open oligopoly, new firms enter the market and compete with existing firms. But in closed oligopoly, entry is restricted. Everyone, in closed oligopoly, entry is restricted. Everyone, what did I say? In closed oligopoly, entry is restricted. Sir, repeat. In closed oligopoly, students, the entry is restricted. Not everyone can enter the market. But in open oligopoly, new firms can enter the market and compete with existing firms. Then you have collusive and competitive oligopoly. Students, collusive oligopoly means when the firms come together to a common understanding or act in collusion with each other. Means they come together to fix price or output or both. They come together to fix price or output or both. To fix price or output or both. They come together. That is collusive. I'll give you the example of opaque. But Acha, students are asking, sir, closed oligopoly entry is restricted. Huh? For example, opaque. You cannot become a member of opaque. Opaque won't allow. In open, anyone can enter the market. Like you can say cold drink. Mr. Ambani also entered the soft drinks market. Lahori Jeera is very famous nowadays. They have also entered the market. Yes, the market is oligopoly because Pepsi and Coca-Cola control the market. But then it is open. Anybody can enter the soft drink sector. Even you can. Then students, you have partial or full oligopoly. Then students, you have. Acha, everyone's chat box is not open. Kya? How to allow? I'm checking students. Just a minute. Or tech support, are you there? Or tech support? Just a minute. Just a minute, students. Okay. Students, check whether you can now message in the everyone tech chat box. Or tech support, please allow everyone to message in the common group chat. Okay. So partial or full oligopoly. Let's come back to that again. Huh? Oligopoly is partial, students, when industry is dominated by one large firm, which is considered or looked upon as the leader of the group. One large firm, which is considered or looked upon as the leader of the group. There may be small firms and they will be the price leader. The dominating firm will be the price leader. Should I give you an example? A kind of different example. You see, now as we speak now, students, stand-up comedy, right? Stand-up comedy is now budding in India. Stand-up comedy is now coming up in India in a big way. So, you have people like Zakir Khan and all, who are the main leaders. They are the leader of the group. They occupy huge share of the market. That is what is being said. Okay? And now, whatever Zakir Khan charges, others will give it at a discount or around that. Everyone will be exactly charging that or around that. Because Zakir Khan is the price leader. I just gave an example of Zakir Khan. You can take it to 2 or 3 other examples, whatever you feel necessary. Syndicated, organized, we have already discussed in detail. Characteristics of oligopoly market. Students, it is a market characterized by strategic interdependence. What is the meaning of this word strategic interdependence? Interdependence means they are dependent on what the others are doing. I am looking at Pepsi is looking at what Coca-Cola is doing. Coca-Cola is looking at what Pepsi is doing. So there is certain interdependence. And why the name strategic? And why the name strategic? Students, the name is strategic because everyone, the name is strategic because pay attention now. There is some kind of strategic decision making involved. When I say there is some kind of strategic decision making involved, it means that they somehow depend on each other. They somehow depend on each other. Strategic interdependence. If you are launching a soda flavored, a lemon flavored soda, others are also going to do the same. Now I am giving you a prediction. You see this Lahori Jeera that is being sold. Pepsi or Coca-Cola are Pepsi and Coca-Cola are selling their Sprite, their Mountain Dews with similar taste. Now soon for Indian market, they may come up with something. This is my prediction. You see, this will happen. Because Indian market, we also want a little spice in our drink, which Lahori Jeera offers. They are going to do that, you see. Strategic interdependence. Then we have importance of advertising and selling costs. I told you, since there are few sellers, the marketing and the advertising expenses will be quite aggressive, will be quite a lot. But remember this one, students, in oligopoly, don't forget this, partial or full oligopoly. Partial means when only there is one large firm. Full oligopoly means everybody is, equal competitors. There is no one single leader. Yes. For example, somebody may have 21% of the market, some may have 20%, some may have 19%. Right? That can happen. That can happen. Someone may have again 19%, some may have 18%. So what I'm trying to convey here is that there is no clear price leader. That is when we call it full oligopoly. But if the market is such that one person has 40%, others are 10, 15 like this. So we have a clear leader here. Then we will call it partial oligopoly. If you can see a clear leader, a 1 or 2%, 5% variation hardly matters. I had already discussed with you the graph under the oligopoly market, where I had told you it is a kinked demand curve. What it is? Kinked demand curve. Kinked demand curve. Here it is. Kinked demand curve. Here it is. You see, this shape is the kink. It is also called the Paul-Sweezy model because Paul Sweezy came up with this hypothesis. Reason I had explained in the last class itself. So it's known as the Paul-Sweezy model, everyone. Students, now I feel it would be correct on my part to discuss with you MCQs. What say everyone? Can we start? And let me see how this chat can be corrected. I have no clues regarding the same. Or just a minute. Tech support. Look whether they are. Just a moment, Students, any of you have clue about how I can do it? Because immediately during the class, because I would be able to see everybody's answer then, Okay, your answer. I will look into it. Okay, I'll look into it. Chalo. In the table given below, what will be the equilibrium market price? What will be the equilibrium market price? So students, you all know equilibrium is achieved at a point where quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. Quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. So you see here, everyone, this is demand, this is supply, and at what price is that happening? At rupees 4. So at price of rupees 4, quantity demanded is equals to quantity supplied. That is the equilibrium price. That is the equilibrium price. That is the equilibrium price. So do we have rupees 4 here? We certainly do, sir. We certainly do, sir. Moving on, everybody. Assume that when price is 20, quantity demanded is 9. Okay. When price is 20, quantity demanded is 9. And when price is 19, quantity demanded is 10. Okay. So price reduced, quantity increased. Based on this, what is marginal revenue? Students, mind you, marginal revenue is the change in total revenue. Marginal revenue is the change in total revenue. So what is the total revenue, everyone? 20 units, sorry, 20 rupees, 9 units. So 20 into 9 is up, how much? It's 180 students. It's 180, everyone. 20 into 9 is 180. And when price is 19, quantity demanded is 10. So 19 into 10 is 190. So everybody, earlier the total revenue was 180. Now the total revenue is 190. So the marginal revenue is 10. So the marginal revenue is 10. So there is a change with rupees 10. What is the marginal revenue resulting from increase in output from 9 to 10? Rupees 10. Rupees 10. Assume that when price is 20, quantity is 15, and when price is 18, quantity is A. Based on this, what is the marginal revenue resulting from increase in output? Again, so see, 20 into 15 is 300. And now, when price is 18, quantity demanded is 16. 18 into 16, 288. So from 300 to 288, it is minus 12. It is minus 12. It has rather fallen. Revenue has fallen, so it will be negative, right? Okay, sir. Now, question number 4 is interesting. Let's see what is happening here. Suppose a firm is producing a level of output such that MR is greater than MC. What should be the firm doing to maximize its profit? So, students, if MR is greater than MC, you can produce till MR becomes equal to MC. So if MR is greater than MC, you would tell the firm ki keep producing. Why are you stopping? Continue production. Forget this and you will lose the marks. This diagram. Yes. This is the marginal cost curve. This is the MR curve. MC equals to MR and MC cuts MR from below. Today also I discussed. That is the equilibrium point. This is the equilibrium quantity. This is the equilibrium price. Now they are asking if you are somewhere here. You see at this point, at this juncture, marginal cost is less and marginal revenue is greater. So the firm should increase output. The firm should increase output. Marginal revenue is equals to. Now, what is marginal revenue equal to? Class, please pay attention. What is marginal revenue equal to? What is marginal revenue equals to? Change in price divided by change in output. Change in quantity divided by change in price. No. Change in P into Q due to 1 unit change in output. Yes, because P into Q is total revenue. So whenever you find marginal revenue, let's say for the third item, What do? You find total revenue for 3 units, you find total revenue of 2 units, you deduct them. So marginal revenue for third unit is total revenue for 3 units minus total revenue for 2 units. The change in P into Q due to 1 unit change in output. Moving on to number 6. Moving on to number 6, everyone. Suppose that a sole proprietorship is earning total revenue of rupees 1 lakh and is incurring explicit cost of 75,000. If the owner could work for another company for 30,000 a year, we could conclude that. Good question, interesting one. Read it out and solve it, everyone. Solve it, everyone. Suppose that a sole proprietorship is earning total revenue of rupees 1 lakh, wait, and is incurring explicit cost of itna. So yes, there is accounting profit, but let's see whether there is economic profit or not, because you all remember in economic cost we also consider implicit costs. So see, 1 lakh is sales minus 75,000 is this explicit cost. So accounting profit is there 25,000, but if you would be working for other company, you would be making 30,000. So you also have to deduct your implicit cost. So in reality, you are losing 5,000. Economic loss. Firm is incurring an economic loss. I had told you in the first class in cost as well. Which of the following is not an essential condition for pure competition? Students, here it is pure competition. Perfect competition had many features, but the first 3 features, if you add them up, it becomes pure competition. So what are the features of pure competition? See, pure competition has 3 features only. That's it. Pure competition is a market which has 3 features. That's it. I did not say perfect competition. I am saying pure competition. The first 3 features of perfect competition, if present in a market, it is pure competition. Large number of buyers and sellers, selling homogeneous products with the freedom of entry and exit. With the freedom of entry and exit. So which is not an essential condition? Absence of transport cost is not an essential condition. Absence of transportation cost is not an essential condition. What is the shape of demand curve faced by a firm under perfect competition? So the perfect competition is horizontal demand curve. It is what's a horizontal demand curve. Horizontal demand curve. What is the first order condition for a profit of a firm to be maximum? It is MC equals to MR and MC cuts MR from below. They asked first, so why say both? MC equal to MR. Game over. Game over. Which of the following is not a characteristic of a price taker? They are saying not a characteristic of a price taker. They are not saying characteristic. They are saying not a characteristic of a price taker. So students, if they ask you which of the following is not a characteristic of price taker, who is a price taker? Perfect competition firm. Who is a price taker? Perfectly competitive firm. And they're asking which of them is not a characteristic of price taker. Which of the following is not a characteristic of a price taker? So everybody, what would be your answer? Students, your answer should be negative slope demand curve. The curve like this is not a characteristic. This is a characteristic. Which of the following statement is false? Which of the following statement is false? Pay attention, everyone. Which of the following statement is false? Economic cost include the opportunity cost of the resources owned by the firm. Yes, opportunity cost of resources owned by the firm is nothing but implicit cost. So yes, economic cost includes both explicit cost and implicit cost. So it is correct. They asked which is false. ये correct है. Accounting cost is only explicit cost. ये भी correct है. This is also correct. So no arguments regarding the same, everyone. Economic profit will always be less than accounting profit. Yes. Because while calculating accounting profit, you only deduct explicit cost. But while calculating economic profits, you deduct explicit cost as well as implicit cost. So this statement is 100% correct. This is going to be your answer. Accounting cost equals to total revenue minus implicit cost. Wrong. Accounting profit equals to total revenue minus explicit costs. Total revenue less explicit costs. With a given supply curve, a decrease in demand causes. So this is the given supply curve. This is the given demand curve. If there is a decrease in, with a given supply, a decrease in demand. Interesting. You remember the technique. So decrease in demand. So equilibrium price and quantity has fallen. So decrease in price and decrease in equilibrium quantity, both. I had taught you to think it through even without the graphs, if you remember. Yes, sir, we certainly do remember. It is assumed in economic theory that, what is assumed in economic theory? Let's see, everyone, that decision making within the firm is usually undertaken by managers, but never by the owners. See, this is why I say, when they give questions like this, if you don't read the entire material, you would not be able to point out the answer. It is assumed in economic theory that decision making within the firm is usually undertaken by managers, but never by the owners. No. The ultimate goal of the firm is to maximize profits regardless of size or type of business. Absolutely correct answer. So write it down, everyone. This is important. It is written in the institute material. The ultimate goal of firm is to maximize profits regardless of the size or type of the business organization. Got it, sir. Moving on. Assume that consumers' income and the number of sellers in the market for a good both decrease. हाँ. So consumers' income falls. So if consumers fall, demand falls. And the number of seller in the market for good fall. So if the number of seller in the market for good fall, everyone, if the number of seller in the market for good falls, both decrease, we can conclude with certainty that, remember, number of sellers are falling. So supply is falling. So supply will fall. Everyone, supply will fall. And if consumers increase, income falls, demand will fall. So both quantities are falling, so quantity will surely fall. But price, about price, we are uncertain. We cannot say anything about price. कौन ज्यादा जोर से गिर रहा है? Demand ज्यादा जोर से गिर रहा है कि supply ज्यादा जोर से गिर रहा है? That is also an important, constraint to consider here. Moving on. If supply increases in a greater proportion than demand, if the change in supply is greater than change in demand, if supply increases in a greater proportion than demand, if supply increases in a greater proportion than demand, what will happen? If supply increases in a greater proportion, there will be excess supply. So quantity will definitely rise. Class, quantity will definitely rise. But since there is excess supply, price will fall. So equilibrium price will be lower than the original equilibrium and new quantity will be higher. I did not draw the graph. Still, I could manage the answer. You see, I'll show it to you here. I will show it to you here. Okay. This is the demand curve. This is the supply curve. So you have demand and you have supply. Now everyone, if supply increases in a greater proportion than demand. If supply increases in a greater proportion than demand. So shift supply by greater proportion. See, I'll show it to you. 1 minute. See, supply I have changed with a greater proportion. If supply increases in a greater proportion than demand. So yes, demand has increased, but in a rather lesser way. So it is here. The blues are intersecting here. So equilibrium quantity has risen and equilibrium price has fallen. So equilibrium price will be lower and then original equilibrium and new equilibrium quantity will be higher. And new equilibrium quantity will be higher. 16th one. Assume that in the market for good Z, there is a simultaneous increase in demand and supply quantity supplied. There is a simultaneous increase in demand and quantity supplied. The result will be what? See, there is increase in both. So definitely there will be increase in equilibrium quantity. Definitely there will be increase in equilibrium quantity. Price, we don't know. Such questions institute gives. Dhyan rakhiyega. Institute will give such questions. So there will be an increase in equilibrium quantity, but effect on equilibrium price, we are not sure. Moving on, everyone. Suppose the technology for producing personal computers improves. Everyone pay attention. Suppose the technology for producing personal computers improved. So quantity supplied rises. And at the same time, individual discover new uses for personal computers. So demand will also rise. So demand will also rise. So supply is rising, demand will rise. The supply is also rising, demand is also rising. What will happen to equilibrium price? I told you, price I don't know. Because both are rising. But by how much we don't know. But both are rising, so quantity will rise. I am sure about that. C will be my answer. C will be my answer. Which of the following is not a condition of perfect competition, class? Not a condition of perfect competition. Which of the following is not a condition of perfect competition? Everyone. Advertising. Why advertising is not necessary in perfect competition? I had discussed it. Don't tell me कि सर आपने नहीं बताया. मैंने बताया. I remember it. I will tell you why. I will tell you why. The reason is what is not, why, which is not a condition. Which of the following is not a condition? Informative advertising, to ensure that consumers have good information. You know why? So that because there is perfect knowledge already. If there is already perfect knowledge, why do you need advertising? Moving on to the 19th one. Easy questions are. Which of the following is not a characteristics of a perfectly competitive market? Which of the following is not a characteristic of a perfectly competitive market? हाँ, large number correct है. Output are perfect substitutes. Yes, homogeneous products. It simply means homogeneity. Homogeneous products. Firm faces downward sloping demand curve. No, 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 no. This is wrong. Because the firm faces horizontal demand curve. Right, sir. Question 20. Which of the following is not a characteristic of monopolistic competition? They are not saying which is a characteristic. They are saying which is not a characteristic of monopolistic competition. Check it and everyone then tell me. Check your options and then tell me. They are saying not a characteristic. Entry is okay. Product differentiation. Relatively large number of sellers and homogeneous products. Yes, here it is. Here the products are not homogeneous. Here the products are differentiated. Or I can say they are close substitutes. They are differentiated or they are close substitutes. 21st question. Monopoly may arise in a product market. Why or how? Answer me this. Why monopoly may arise in a product market? because a significantly important resource is owned by a firm? Yes. Monopoly may arise in a product market because a significantly important resource is owned by a firm. Yes. That is why monopoly arises. Government has given the patent right. Yes. That can also be an entry barrier, or the costs are so huge that only when large scale production will bring per unit cost down. That is also okay. Coca-Cola enjoys this, Pepsi enjoys this. They produce in so much quantity that a person like you and me, we cannot compete with them. So I can witness clearly all the above are the correct answers. All the above are correct answers. Moving on, everyone. Moving on, everyone. Oligopolistic industries are characterized by. Class, question number 22. Oligopolic firms are characterized by what? A few dominant firms and substantial barriers to entry. Few dominant firms and substantial barriers to entry. Yes. Not one can enter this market. I'll give you an example. Na? Boeing, Airbus. Guys, they are huge. They are massive. Boeing and Airbus are massive. Aren't they? That is what I'm trying to say. So there are substantial barriers to entry. Moving on to the 23rd one. In 23rd one, what is written? Price taking firms. That is, firms that operate in a perfectly competitive market are said to be small relative to the market. Which best describes this smallness? What do you mean when you say firms are small relative to the market? It means they have less than 10 employees. No. Do they face a downward sloping curve? That's why no. They have assets less than 20 lakh. No. The basis of small and large is that there are so many firms that their share of each individual is insignificant. The individual firm is unable to affect market price. Yes, they are so small that their presence or absence has no effect on the market price. That's why we call them small. Now, for a price taking firm, everyone, when I say for a price taking firm, I mean I am talking about what market, students? Sir, we know you are talking about perfect competition. So friends, when we talk about perfect competition, you see, in perfect competition, price, marginal revenue, average revenue are all equal to each other. So price is equals to marginal. Remember, they are saying price taking firm. You should keep that in mind, that whenever they use the language like this, price taking firm, you should be confident enough to say, Acha, that means you are in the world of perfect competition. Got it, sir. Now, monopolistic competition differs from perfectly competition. Why? Monopolistic competition differs from perfectly competition. Why? Monopolistic competition differs from perfectly competition. Why? Remember, everyone, in monopolistic competition, there is a difference from perfect competition, because in monopolistic competition, see, firms can differentiate their products. Yes, in perfect competition, they are exactly same. Understood or not? So this is absolutely correct logic. There is nothing to think about here. 26th. The long run equilibrium outcomes in monopolistic and perfect competition are similar, because in both the market structure, in long run, you are going to earn only normal profits. In both the markets, in the long run, you are going to earn only normal profits. So that would be my answer. Firms will earn only normal profit. Both the market structures, firms will earn only normal profit. In both the markets, firms will earn only normal profit. Which is the distinguishing feature of oligopoly? That the product is standardized, that the goal is profit maximization, there is interdependence among the firms, or there is downward sloping demand curve. Which of the following is distinguishing characteristic of oligopoly? That is different in oligopoly. Tell me, guys, come on. Oligopoly, the unique feature was, I am sure you have forgotten, strategic interdependence. Professor Stigler pointed this out. Strategic. Each, I gave you the example. Na? If Coca-Cola launches a 1 liter bottle, Pepsi will do the same. That example, remember. So strategic interdependence. That was first feature also, if you remember, in ICAI module. In which form of market structure is the degree of control over the price of product by a firm very large? So degree of control over the price very large. It's a no-brainer. Even if I don't look at the options, I know the answer, you know the answer. Am I wrong? Sir, आप लोगों को आंसर मालूम? I am confident about that. Students, it's monopoly market where firm itself is the industry. In monopoly, the formula is firm equals to industry. Students, moving on to the next one, students. Moving on to the next one. Average revenue. Array, come on. Average revenue is equals to price. So when you plot price and quantity against each other, it is nothing but the demand curve. It is nothing but the demand curve. It is nothing but the demand curve. Under which of the following form of market structure does a firm have no control over the price of its product? Means firm has no control. Firm will just take the market determined price. Oh my God, I have given the hint. Perfect competition. Because here the market forces of demand and supply decides the price. Huh. Discriminating monopoly. Discriminating, you remember na? Policy of price discrimination, where for the same product, you can charge different prices from different sellers. Yes or no, everyone? For the same product, you can charge different prices from different sellers. Yes or no, everyone? Right, sir. Discriminating monopoly implies that the monopolist charges different prices for his commodity from different consumers for different uses at different places. The answer can be any of the above. So everyone, the answer can be any of the above. The answer can be any of the above. Yes. Moving on. Price discrimination will be profitable only if elasticity of demand in different markets, sub-markets is different. Very important. Price discrimination will be possible then only. Let me show it to you. इसके लिए we will have to go there. Monopoly price discrimination में. Read this objectives of price discrimination also, huh? Don't forget. Yes. See, price discrimination may take place for reasons such as difference in nature and type of persons who buy the product, difference in locality where the products are sold, and difference in income level age. So the markets are different. If the markets are same, then how will you discriminate the prices? In one market, people can afford to pay. In one market, people can't afford to pay. Still you want to sell. Then only you will do price discrimination. Na? That is what is being discussed, students, here. Right, sir. So different. In the context of oligopoly, class, another question. In the context of oligopoly, king demand hypothesis is designed to explain price rigidity. That is, they have to keep the price at this. Because if you raise the price, your demand will fall by a large quantity. But if you reduce the price, you will raise the demand, but with a very limited quantity. So that is price rigidity. Everyone, that is what? That is called price rigidity. That is called what? Price rigidity. The firm in a perfectly competitive market is a price taker. The firm in a perfectly competitive market is a price taker. The firm is a price taker. This designation as a price taker is based on what assumption? The firm is a price taker. This designation is based on the assumption that, what assumption is it? That the firm has some but not complete control over its product price. There are so many buyers and sellers in the market that any individual firm cannot affect the market. Any individual firm cannot affect the market. The firm in a perfectly competitive market is a price taker. This designation is based on the assumption that there are so many buyers and sellers that an individual firm cannot affect the market. That an individual firm cannot affect the market. Individual firm cannot affect the market. Moving on. Suppose the demand curve for XYZ company slopes downwards and to the right. We can conclude what? We can conclude what? Demand curve slopes downwards and to the right. We can conclude that the firm operates in a perfectly competitive market. No, if demand curve is downward, then it cannot be perfect competition. The firm can sell all that it wants at an established market price. No, it is not possible. The XYZ company, since it is sloped downwards to the right, is not a price taker in the market because it must lower price to sell. Yes, your demand curve is downward means to sell more, you have to reduce price. आप price कम कर रहे हो जिससे आप ज्यादा बेच सको. That is the key relevant assumption here. Let's see the 36th one. Let's see the 36th one, everyone. So we can see this is a market where there are few sellers. So, and these sellers are significant. So we can say it's a oligopoly market. We can say it's oligopoly market. The king demand curve of oligopoly assumes that they are again asking the question from king demand curve that response to a price increase is more than response to a price decrease. I told you, forgot. Ye hai price. This is demand. If you increase the price slightly, demand will fall rapidly. But if you reduce the price, demand will increase but very slightly. So response to a price rise is more. The demand has fallen with greater proportion. But if you reduce price, everybody has reduced their price. So your demand, that is the seller's demand, will increase but with only very little quantity. A firm encounters its shutdown point. A firm encounters its shutdown point. A firm encounters its shutdown point when? Tell me. Shutdown is when price equals to average variable cost. When price is equals to average variable cost, that is the condition, right? That is the condition. Average variable cost equals to price at the profit maximizing level of output. At the profit maximizing level of output. Suppose that at the profit maximizing level of output, a firm finds that market price is less than average total cost. Okay, market price is less than average total cost, but greater than variable cost. You will tell the firm to continue production. Yes, we are making loss, but at least we are able to cover our variable costs. Fixed cost तो as it is, we would have made the loss. Fixed cost का loss तो ऐसे भी होता. Please try and understand, students. Have a look, everyone. Look. This is average variable cost. This is price P0. Okay. This is average cost. This is price P1. Now, students, even if price is P0, you are at least able to cover your variable cost. So beyond this, you can produce. But if price is less than P0, you should not produce. That is what is being discussed here. So the firm should continue to operate in short run in order to minimize its losses. Because even if you produce nothing, अगर आप कुछ ना भी produce करो, तब भी your loss will be fixed cost. Your loss would be equal to fixed cost. Suppose I have taken an institute. Okay. Now, due to students' exam, no student is coming. I still have to pay rent. So fixed cost will still be incurred. Now students, the 40th one. इसके बाद we will start with the question answer round of students, right? When price is less than average variable cost at the profit maximization level, now you will sell the firm, shut down. Since it is not cover its variable cost if it stays in business. Yes, it is written if price is less than average variable cost, then the only thing you can say is shut down. At least don't make the loss of variable cost. Fixed cost का तो loss ऐसे भी होना था वैसे भी होना था. At least save your variable costs. By selling at lesser than variable costs, you are also losing out on the variable cost, variable part of the things. Students, 40 MCQs discussed. Now my goal is to talk to you. You can raise your hand, students. I am now moving on to the participant section so that we can allow you to unmute and ask your doubt. Raise your hand, students. The time starts now. Go ahead, everyone. I can see Ujjwal has raised his hand. Sure, Ujjwal, I am allowing you. Go ahead, Ujjwal.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I have confusion in the types of oligopoly, partial oligopoly,
Which oligopoly?
partial oligopoly.
हाँ. Ujjwal, see.
सर उसमें
हाँ,
सर
please tell.
सर उसमें आपने कहा था कि जो फॉर्म होता है वो लीडर होता है, तो लीडर
नहीं
कहने का मतलब उसको मोनोपोली क्या?
नहीं, मैं समझ गया, आपकी बात समझ गया. पहले मैं उज्जवल, क्योंकि आप हिंदी में बोल रहे हो, मैं एक बार हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूं, है ना. एंड उसके बाद जो है अपने और बातचीत करेंगे. क्लास, एवरीवन लिसन व्हाट उज्जवल इज सेइंग, राइट. उज्जवल का क्वेश्चन है कि सर, आपने कहा कि पार्शियल ओलिगोपोली में एक प्राइस लीडर रहेगा, तो इस तरीके से तो ये एक मोनोपोली हो गया. अगर एक सिंगल प्राइस लीडर है, तब फिर आप कैसे बोल सकते हो? उज्जवल, एम आई करेक्ट?
यस सर, यू आर करेक्ट.
सो उज्जवल, व्हाट डिड आई से? इन मोनोपोली कोई क्लोज कॉम्पिटिटर ही नहीं होता. मतलब देयर इज ओनली वन पर्सन, अदर्स आर नॉट इवन सेलिंग द सिमिलर प्रोडक्ट. नाउ लेट मी गिव यू एन एग्जांपल. इन इलेक्ट्रिक कार सेगमेंट, Ujjwal, if you know a little bit about the world market, when we say electric vehicles, which company comes to mind?
Activa.
No, I'm not talking about the scooters and all. EV, who?
Yes.
Tesla, yes or no?
Yes sir, Tesla.
So there are many sellers, but who has the main market share in the EV segment? Tesla. But
Yes,
does that mean that others are not selling EV? They are also selling. They are also selling the similar product, yes or no?
Yes sir.
So they are close substitutes of Tesla, yes or no?
Yes sir.
So it is still oligopoly. If it was monopoly, close substitute ही नहीं होता उज्जवल.
ओके सर, अंडरस्टूड. सर और एक और डाउट था.
हाँ.
सर, स्ट्रैटेजिक इंडिपेंडेंस में जो स्ट्रैटेजिक वर्ड यूज किया उसका मतलब क्या होता है?
मतलब आप जो स्ट्रेटेजी परस्यू करोगे, आपका कॉम्पिटिटर भी वही स्ट्रेटेजी कॉपी करेगा.
अच्छा, ओके
समझ
सर.
गए? ठीक है ना?
यस
ओके,
सर.
let's
Thank
move
you, sir.
to, okay, let's allow the next person, Miss Narayani, to speak her doubt. Just a minute, madam. Yes, madam, go ahead.
सर, ये जो परफेक्ट कंपटीशन वगैरह वाली आप टेबल करा रहे थे, इसमें कंप्लीट एब्सेंस ऑफ मोनोपोली और हाई डिग्री वाले में मुझे डाउट है.
एक बार
मतलब ये 5th पॉइंट समझ ही नहीं आया.
नहीं, मैडम आप एक काम करो ना, पॉइंट रीड कर दो ना, मैं पूरा एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ. हेलो नारायणी, आप एक बार वो रीड कर दो ना जो आप पूछ रहे हो, जिससे आई कैन एग्जैक्टली पिन पॉइंट एंड एक्सप्लेन व्हाट यू आर आस्किंग, है ना नारायणी? आप एक बार रीड करो।
जी सर। सर परफेक्ट कंपटीशन में है कंप्लीट एब्सेंस ऑफ मोनोपोली, और मोनोपोली में
अच्छा, आई अंडरस्टूड कहाँ का बात कर रहे हो आप। जो 3 टेबल्स थे वही उसका बात कर रहे हो।
हाँ जी सर।
सो आपने कहा कि कंप्लीट एब्सेंस ऑफ मोनोपोली वाला पॉइंट बताओ। हाँ ठीक है, मैं समझ गया। तो यू आर सेइंग कि ये नहीं समझ आया, मतलब परफेक्ट कंपटीशन में किसी एक जन का नहीं चलता, बिकॉज ऑल द फर्म्स आर सेलिंग द सेम प्रोडक्ट, होमोजेनियस प्रोडक्ट। यस और नो मैडम?
यस सर।
Number one, high degree of monopoly power prevails means one person has significant control. Yes or no?
यस सर।
But in monopolistic competition, they have some power. Like Puma has some power. That is, if Puma launches something, people will be attracted. If let's say Bata launches something, people will be attracted. But they have some degree of power, not huge, like in monopoly. Yes or no?
यस सर।
और क्या नहीं समझ आया आपको?
बस सर यही था।
Okay. Let's allow Mr. Tulsi Nath to speak and ask his doubt.
Namaste, sir.
Yes, Tulsinath, go ahead. Namaste.
Sir, my doubt is that while discussing monopoly, is there any condition that uh, it should be the monopoly should be only in the hands of the government? Is there any
No,
that condition, sir?
no. Matlab, you are saying that, sir, because you give the example of monopoly where government had the power. So does that mean that if it is a monopoly, it will only be government? No, it is not necessary, Mr. Tulsinath. It's not necessary. It can be. Now see, generally we see that monopoly exists with government. You know why? It is because if only one firm is dealing in a product, na, they will be a threat to the government itself. So government has various anti-competitive laws, various competition laws, so that only one firm does not dominate the market. But it does not mean that only government can be monopoly, any other business can't be monopoly. No, I did not say this. No, wrong.
Sir, can you give a basic example, sir, to clarify this?
Xerox, when it was launched, it was the only one who was originally the photocopy business. Only Xerox was there. Today there are many, but that time Xerox had the monopoly only.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. That was my only doubt. Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay. And Mr. Tulsinath, you tell me, you unmute yourself once, just a minute. Okay. First, let's clear Akshit, and then we'll come to other students. Yes, Akshit.
Hello, sir. Everyone chat box is not available.
Sorry.
Hello, everyone chat box. Hello, sir.
Huh?
Everyone chat box is not available, sir. Can you tell them?
No. I had told maybe they missed out. They missed out on the message. Akshit, there is a lot of noise around you. So what I'm saying is,
Hello.
oh yes. So Tulsinath, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
So Tulsinath, what I was asking you is that you have been attending classes. Are you doing the classes consistently, attending?
No, sir. Today I am just a 12th class student. Today is holiday due to climatic conditions. So I have
Okay.
attended, sir.
So which part of the city are you in?
Andhra Pradesh, sir.
Andhra Pradesh. Great to know. So Tulsinath, in ICAI, that is Board of Studies, economics, this is your first class, or have you attended before also?
I have attended previous classes also, sir, but recorded.
Okay, but recorded. Today you are doing live for the first time.
Yes, sir.
So did you understand the class? Because see, I also have to operate under a given time frame. So some points I have to skip, or sometime I have to speed up. But overall, did you understand everything?
Yes, sir, I understood. But a simple feedback I would like to give is while explaining any concept, you are explaining the relevant examples also, sir. That is great to me, sir. Because
Okay.
while reading the theory, if I remember your examples, it would be nice to connect, sir. It would
Right,
be
right, right. No, I agree. I agree. Great, great, great. Okay, thank you, Tulsinath. Let me move to the next person, Mr. Akshit.
Thank you,
I
sir.
think, okay, Akshit, I am allowing you to unmute. Just make sure that there was a lot of background noise, so I could not hear your voice properly. Huh? Yes, Akshit.
Sir, ask Nikhil sir to allow everyone chat box, sir.
No, I have told, but you ask your
One,
doubt now. What is your concern? You ask that.
sir, take me to second slide first.
ਕੁਝ
Second,
ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ
Second slide of
ਕਿ
your
ਮੈਨੂੰ
PPT.
ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੇ ਤਸਵੀਰ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਫਿਲਟਰ ਲਾਇਆ ਹੈ
Akshit,
ਕਿ
actually,
ਮੈਨੂੰ
a
ਨਹੀਂ
lot of
ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ
background noise is
ਤਸਵੀਰ ਤੇ
coming.
ਉਹਨੇ ਕੋਈ
Can you
ਫਿਲਟਰ
go to the
ਲਾਇਆ
side and
ਹੈ
then ask?
ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ
Sir,
ਅੱਖਾਂ
in elements, what is fifth and sixth difference point?
ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਮਿਲੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸੱਚਮੁੱਚ ਉਸੇ ਹੀ
Page
ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ
number?
ਅੱਜ ਸੱਚਮੁੱਚ ਮਿਲੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਉਸੇ ਹੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ
Page
ਜਿਸ
number
ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ
equilibrium
ਉਹਦੀ
under price
ਟੇਬਲ ਵਿੱਚ
determination.
ਸ਼ੀਸ਼ਾ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਹੈ
First point,
ਤੇ
I can't
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ
understand.
ਪਤਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ
I
ਘਰ
cannot hear a lot.
ਖੋਲ ਨਹੀਂ
Your background voice
ਕਿ
is
ਮੈਂ
huge. I cannot understand.
Sir, sorry to disturb you.
Yes.
Sir, Ajit. Akshit, what is your issue?
Actually, Akshit is telling again and again that please activate the everyone's chat box. Everyone's chat box.
Why, sir? Akshit,
No,
unmute yourself.
I am allowing him to unmute. Just a minute. Yes, Akshit, the
ਫਿਰ
tech
ਵੀ
support
ਸਰਦਾ
person is.
ਨਹੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ
Equilibrium under price, equilibrium under
ਤੇ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਉਹਦੇ
equilibrium under price determination doubt, sir.
ਕਿ ਲੱਗਦਾ
सबसे पहले अपना
ਉਹਦੇ
background
ਚਾਅ ਵੀ ਪੂਰੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੇ ਜਦ ਤੜਕੇ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਦਿਹਾੜੀ ਵਾਲਾ
Equilibrium under price determination.
ਤੇ ਉਹਦੀਆਂ ਸਹੇਲੀਆਂ ਪੁੱਛਦੀਆਂ
Equilibrium under price determination.
Okay. टेक सपोर्ट आप आवाज सुन पा रहे हो ना उसका?
Sir, please continue your session.
Okay. So equilibrium under perfect competition is simple. Equilibrium is very simple. See, for any market, what I would say is any market, if it is like here, I am drawing the diagram of monopolistic competition or oligopoly. Equilibrium is only achieved when there are two conditions satisfied. Simple. Let's say this is the MR curve, this is the AR curve. Two conditions are MC equals to MR and MC cuts MR from below. That's it. That's the only condition. Game over. Game over. MC equal to MR and MC cuts MR from below. Full stop. Okay. Students, any other doubts? Please raise your hands. I am ready to take up the next doubt. Students, any other doubt? Please raise your hand. I am more than ready to help you out. Okay, since we have come here, I would like to explain you one more thing. Like, I would like to remind you all one more thing. Do not forget this formula which I had discussed. MR equals to AR into E minus 1 by E. And one more thing I wanted to tell, that slope of marginal revenue is twice slope of average revenue in perfect competition. Please remember this. Slope of marginal revenue is twice the slope of average revenue. I mean, MR will fall sharper than AR. MR will fall sharper than AR. And you remember the submarket point here. Under simple monopoly, a single price is charged for the whole output. But under price discrimination, monopolists will charge different prices in different submarkets. That is what I was trying to explain everyone. Right, sir. Now everyone. Now everybody. Let's solve a few more MCQs. Based on this concept that I taught you. See, students, MR equals to AR into elasticity minus 1 by elasticity. Is that correct? Definitely, sir, it is correct. MR equals to AR into elasticity minus 1 by elasticity, isn't it? Now, students, what I say is, if they tell you elasticity is 1, what do we do? This I am doing so that you get idea of numerical as well. So 1 minus 1 by 1. So MR equals to AR into 0. That is 0. So MR is 0. MR is 0. MR is 0. MR equal to AR into E minus 1 by E. Students, if E is less than 1, for example, 0.5. 0.5 minus 1 by 0.5. So MR equals to AR into minus 0.5 by 0.5. So what I am concerned is it is negative. Minus of AR. So MR is minus of AR. AR is always positive. So minus of AR means MR will be negative. MR will be negative. That's what I was trying to emphasize. In economics, the term market refers to a place where buyers and sellers bargain a product or a service for a price. Yes, place where buyer and seller bargain for a price. ठीक है? Very easy but important. Another important question is, a monopolist is a, easy but important. A monopolist is a price maker. Acha, on the question of price discrimination, degrees of price discrimination, one graph based question first let's solve. Then we will come to that. See, at price P1, the firm in the figure would produce, see, at price P1, see, price is less than AVC. If you look carefully, in this price, the firm is not even able to cover its AVC. I will show you the blue dot. Wait. Otherwise, red, you won't understand. Here it is. Here it is, na? So see, AVC is lying above, price is below. So therefore, firm would produce zero output. Secular period, you know, it's a very long period. Okay. If they ask you, what is the break-even price here? What is the break-even point? Students, this one. Break-even, remember this, students, very important. Break-even occurs when price is equals to average total cost or price is equals to average cost. In simple, price equals to average total cost or price is equals to average cost. But shutdown point is when price is equals to average variable cost. Shutdown point is when price is equals to average variable cost. Students, with this much said and done, we can wind up our discussion for the day. See you all in the next class with a completely new topic. Okay, so that's it for the day. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you very much. Tech support, we can wind up the class today. Or tech support, we can wind up the class.